Yeah, you mentioned, all these other areas kind of being co-opted. We've had our own brushes with censorship from tech platforms, something that never happened in 8 years. And now I literally have a handful of people in Silicon Valley, some that were in front of Congress this last week, that are determining, policy for freedom of speech for billions. It's hard to believe. And I've had one-on-one conversations with my YouTube rep, and we've got 250 million views on our channel, and he always throws up a community policy that changes constantly, and he doesn't even know what it is, and it's just super subjective. So they can choose what they want and just shut down the conversation. We've seen Trump being shut down on Twitter. And that is the way we communicate, especially in times of COVID. So like you said, that's kind of been co-opted. You're right, businesses all feeling like they have to behave and, toe the line of, whatever movement. It was strange to watch that happen with the Black Lives Matter movement, and every business just kind of jump on board. It's strange to watch.
I'm watching the National Basketball Association with Black Lives Matter painted on the court, with players having the option of a social justice message, with every player, with the exception of one or two this season, kneeling during our nation's anthem. And that has become the corporate culture. I mean, 3-4 years ago, we were debating whether players should kneel. I mean, the policy of the NBA was you will stand. Everyone will stand. Now everyone's kneeling. The policy's still there. They're just ignoring it. And you're seeing it. It's professional sports is just the most public manifestation of what's happening in our schools, what's happening in our rank and file corporations. There is no room for the dissent to say, wait a minute, what does this all mean? Where's all the money going? What about their attachment to defunding the police? What about the violence? You ask those questions and you're the bad guy. And then you look around and you say, I thought I lived in a free country where I had the ability to express my opinions, and not to mention the way in which these corporations cater and bow to Beijing, which is, I think, even just as dangerous and something, thankfully, President Trump is taking on as well. I mean, when you start to think about the amount of fights he's fighting, thank goodness the guy doesn't have to sleep that much.
Yeah, and I want to get into China later because you got some great thoughts. And yeah, I'm watching from over here. I mean, I'm from San Diego, California. I spent most of my life there. I've been over here for about 20 years. But watching people kneel at a baseball game, and everyone's doing it. And then the whole thing on Fifth Ave with the painting, the Black Lives Matter and de Blasio. I mean, it just boggles my mind. I don't even know where to start with something like that. It's almost
stranger
than
what's it all
fiction.
about? Where is that mural painted in New York City? Right in front of Trump Tower. Where is that mural painted in D.C.? Right in front of the White House where Donald Trump's inside. This is about Donald Trump. This is about hating what he stands for. And they've got every other excuse and every other reason for it. And they pretend to have the facts and all of these things. Ultimately, this is a political movement to try to delegitimize and destabilize our country, to try to win an election. And it happens to be Joe Biden. He's the empty vessel. The shadow president will be nominated soon by the Democrats. But make no mistake about it. Sure, there are people with principled ideas about policing out there. I get it. That's not what the majority of this is about.